All right, welcome back. We are now going to be picking our selects, creating timelines, all that sort of stuff. So I've got my footage folder. I'm going to create a bin that is just for my sequences. I'm going to actually have quite a few for this. So I'm going to then, the easiest way for me is I just grab one of the clips that I know has all the settings that I like. I drag it to create a sequence, and it's going to create that with the same name. I'm going to call this introduction video. So I'm going to bring that up to my sequences folder so I can just keep organized. And under there, I'm going to duplicate that, right click duplicate, and this is going to be my selects pancake. Okay, so I'm going to open that up. You can see I've now got two tabs, one for the introduction, one for the selects. There's nothing in either, so doesn't matter. I'm going to put the pancake on top. Yep, there we go. I'm going to make this a little smaller, my audio smaller. In fact, I don't know if I even want this panel. Get out of here. Get out of here, panel. I hate you. All right, whatever. So I've got my selects, my introduction video. I'm going to go through, for the introduction, I believe most of it's in just this first file. So I'm going to double click this, and we're going to go to the beginning. I'm hit home. I'm hitting the tilde key, that's right above the tab, to make this full screen. There's my clap. I get into frame, and I just using JKNL to move forward and backwards in the timeline. I'm going to hit I. For right about here is where I want my clip to start. I'm going to hit play.
Oh, hello there. I'm Spencer Holt, professor of the online advanced editing class. You may be asking yourself, how are we going to edit online? Me too. Me too. But what I will say is that we will not be at a loss for learning the theory of advanced editing, thanks in large part to In the Blink of an Eye by Walter Murch. Let's get to it. We'll start with the forward.
Okay, so I'm going to rewind a little bit.
Your world feeds the wrestle.
And that's going to be my first clip. I'm hitting tilde to get out of that view. You can see my selects pancake is the timeline that is highlighted. There's a blue box around it. So now, when I'm up here, you can see this box is highlighted. I hit the period, and it will insert it into that timeline. Perfect. So I'm going to continue watching forward.
We'll start with the forward. Bye.
And I'm going to try and find more of the introduction because I know I recorded more than that. So I'm going to kind of zoom through here.
Francis Ford Coppola. I'm not exactly sure what.
So this is me reading the preface.
You may be hearing a drip.
All right, so here's another part that I might want to use. I'm going to rewind it a little bit. Fast forward a little bit.
Then the Australian Film Commission, who was instrumental in bringing me to Australia, where the lecture was originally given.
Okay. And now I put the book down.
You,
So I for in.
you may be hearing a dripping, wet sound. In the background of these readings, you may hear a dripping, wet noise. That's because after the earthquake, we now have a leak in our studio. It's kind of relaxing though. Let's just enjoy it. Right? I don't know. That's a cut.
Yeah, you can see. I'll be honest. This whole quarantine thing's got me a little in a funky headspace. So sorry. Some of these are. I get a little dark, a little sad. We're gonna rewind. A little pensive, spensive. Right there. Gonna hit period. Throw him in. I'm gonna check. I don't think I have any introduction in part 2. Let's see.
Alrighty. This is In the Blink of an Eye. We're going to say chapter 1, Cuts and Shadows. Marker.
Okay, so I believe most of these others are going to be other stuff. But let's take a look, because it's always good to check your footage, because I believe there's some not reading stuff right here.
Bits. Let's do a marker. Got a drink on camera. How are you guys doing?
Oh, this might be good.
Oh, it's heavier. All right, not yours, man. Her. Moots, let's edit that. The bad bits. Let's do a marker. Her moots, let's edit that. No. We're on cut at no. We're on cut at the bad bits. Let's do a marker.
So you can see as I'm kind of going back and forth, as I'm deciding where I want my endpoint. I am really just relying on J, K, and L to sort of feel it out, where I want that to start and stop, hitting space, and then I for your endpoint. So you can see, as I was looking at that clip, I kind of went back and forth quite a bit, not knowing if I wanted it to start after the clap or before the clap. And eventually I decided on before, so I'm going to hit play now.
I have a drink on camera. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Weird times. Teaching a class about editing online. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But I hope you guys are doing well. Make sure you write, email, comment, whatever. I just make sure you're doing good. Care about you guys. All right. Cut out the bad bits.
All right, so I'm gonna rewind. Hit O. Sweet little message. I don't think it'll make the cut, but we're gonna throw it in there just in case we want it later. Let's see. So the reason that I'm not playing all of the clips all the way through, like you normally would when you're watching your selects, is that these clips, if I just bring this over a little bit, bring it over, you will look at the media duration, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 21, 14, 8, 21, 17. I don't think it'd be like the most enjoyable for you guys to do that, watch through all that. In fact, if we just take a look at everything, we're at about hour 40 or so, is that right? I think there might even be more if we just are looking at video, because audio would have been after. So yeah, 2 hours and 8 minutes worth of video footage, and it's all me talking at a camera. So we're not going to watch all that. I shot this yesterday, so I know exactly where most everything is. But if you were editing something, it's always smart, remember, to look at all of the footage. Let's see.
See around the edge of the frame.
All right, so we did that one. That's good.
Conversation and apocalypse that way.
I think 5 doesn't have anything. Oh, big stretch.
All right, guys, alrighty, guys, we're back at it. This is now more of what we're doing. Oh boy. This is Methods and Machines, Marble and Clay. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, I don't think anything there worth
We'll
grabbing.
show Julia to a preview audience. All right, there. Okay, this is test screenings. Marker.
Yeah, I think you can see as I went on, I started to get more and more tired. I was recording, I mean, there's 2 hours, over 2 hours of it, and plus all the setup time and in between time and all that. Listen to that sigh. Let's get that one more. This is good. This is a good tutorial for you guys to kind of see the editing process.
This is the chapter. Mark.
With this one, you can see when it syncs audio and visual, it'll have. In fact, if I just drag it all in, you'll see that the audio and visual aren't lined up. That's because I started recording video before I started recording audio. In fact, you can see as I lean over and hit it.
This is the Dragnet chapter.
All right, so this is our last one. I know there's a little bit of footage at the end of this that I recorded that I want to pull.
This is the Dragnet chapter. Marker. Dragnet. Dragnet. If it is true.
All right, so it was at the end of this.
And they will therefore give them to it as it gives itself to them.
All right. So I know I had some more stuff I might wanted to put in the introduction, so I'm going to watch this.
Oh, man, guys. Oh, this is wild. Oh. But I think we can get through it. So I'm excited to adapt and learn with you guys. You guys are cool. Thanks for being cool.
Well, I mean, that we'll grab it. It's a little kind of a bummer. Like, I sound real sad. I am sad. So that's probably why. But we'll grab it. We'll throw it in our timeline. We'll get that. Yeah, from the sigh.
But I think we. But
yeah, we're gonna throw that guy in there. I don't think we'll use him. But so now I've kind of got the stuff that I'm thinking for my selects. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag this guy on in to my introduction video. So I know I've got me talking.
Dripping.
There's me talking about the dripping. I don't know that we'll use that.
Let's do a marker. How are you guys doing?
I don't know. We might just end up using this beginning part. So we'll drag it on in. You'll see, oh, it's real tiny. Oh, little guy. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the plus key to zoom in on him. So.
Oh, hello there. I'm Spencer Holt, professor of the online advanced editing class. You may be asking yourself, how are we going to edit online? Me too. Me too. But what I will say is that we will not be at a loss for learning the theory of advanced editing, thanks in large part to In the Blink of an Eye by Walter Murch. Let's get to it.
All right, so I think everything that I need is there, but we have some, what would it be, pacing issues. Since I don't have an audience, I don't have anybody there. There's a lot of long, awkward pauses. So we're gonna do some trim work here. I'm gonna fast forward.
The online advanced editing class. You can get yourself.
So I actually like our first pause. I know it's like right here because I'm looking at my audio waveform and I can kind of see where I went quiet. So
Me too. Me too.
I want to leave this pause and instead cut after the me too. So I'm gonna hit C, I'm gonna cut there, I'm gonna play forward.
But
And instead, I don't like the first but, I'm gonna go with the second but because it makes more sense.
but up.
So I'm gonna cut there. So I hit C to get my blade, and then I made those two cuts. I can hit delete, and that'll get rid of it. And then I could go back to my tool and select this, hit delete again, and that'll move it together. Or what I can do is after I make that cut, I can hit shift delete, and it will ripple delete, bringing this footage over with it, which is a faster way of doing it, and that's shift delete. So now we'll see how this pause
We're going
feels.
to edit online. Me too. Me too. But what I will say is that we will.
Not bad.
Me too. But what I will say is that we will not be at a loss for learning the theory of advanced editing, thanks in large part to In the Blink of an Eye by Walter Murch. Let's get to it.
So watching that again, I think I'm going to cut out this chuckle. And I'm also going to cut out flipping through the pages. So, well, first,
Walter Murch.
I'm going to cut here. I'm going to play it forward through that laugh. And cut here. I'm going to shift delete.
Let's
So this cut, it feels strange.
try Walter Murch.
Because there's not much of a difference, right? It's not a big enough jump.
What I say?
Whereas this cut,
Me too. But what I will say,
there's more change between this frame and this frame. Whereas this, there's less, and it feels a little bit jarring. So what I'm going to try, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to cut when I am now looking.
let's get to it.
And that's a little better, but it's also a little... Oof. This might be a rough cut. We'll find out.
Walter Murch. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Oof.
Get to it.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit home to go back to the beginning. I'm going to tilde to look at my footage, and we're going to see just how we're feeling.
Oh, hello there. I'm Spencer Holt, professor of the online advanced editing class. You may be asking yourself, how are we going to edit online? Me too. Me too. But what I will say is that we will not be at a loss for learning the theory of advanced editing, thanks in large part to In the Blink of an Eye by Walter Murch. let's get to it.
Okay, not bad. I think that's fine for our rough cut. And so I think what I'm going to do now is we're going to call it for this clip, and I am going to move on to the next one. So thank you all. You are awesome.